I wanted to ask you as well, DW, that with like the big hits like 7 Years and A Dignified Rage, further diversifying the Superheist sound. Was that the Joey influence, or was that sort of planned around to complement his vocal style?
Well, I think Joey had a more emotive voice than Burger. You know, Burger was more aggressive and a bit more his own style. Joey's a bit more emotive, and I think, you know, we were able to work a bit of that. We lost a lot of the hip hop stuff in predominantly in that album. We went for a more heavy rock metal approach, and I think Joey had a big voice and he was able to convey a melody, so we took advantage of that for sure.
Yeah, unreal.
It seems like ditching that hip hop or rap element from your music and heading in a more rock style has sort of been something that you continued on with, sort of even to this day. Would you say that's fair?
Well, yeah. I mean, if we fast forward to 2016 and we brought Ezekiel Oxen as our vocalist, he was talented at pretty much anything that you threw at him. You know, he could rap, he could sing, he could scream, he could do it all. And again, we took advantage of that. You know, hip hop's a big part of what we listen to. I mean, I don't really listen to much of the newer stuff, but I'm a big NWA fan, and Ice Cube, his career and stuff. That's my gaff as far as that sort of stuff goes. But yeah, definitely. And nowadays, I actually don't really think about the style. I just want to make great songs, but I want them to be heavy. I want them to be in the Superheist slot. So and that's just what we do now.
And in my own perspective, when Ezekiel Ox joined the band, it seemed like he took the best elements of what you guys have been in the past, and he had that and could do it extremely well. And he sort of took it to the next step almost, or like enhanced it even further, because he can rap and he can do the rock as well. He could do everything that you guys seemed like you needed him to do, and then a little bit more as well. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's right. And he had an innate ability to understand where the band was coming from. It was a bit shaky, I guess, on Ghost of the Social Dead, first record together. There's some moments on that record that, I think we could have got better, but also it was I don't think it was a heavy enough record. And I think that was more the way it was mixed than it was the way we played it, because it was pretty heavy live, even though it was a bit more pop, songs like Fearing Nothing, and which is, probably one of my favorite Superheist songs, but definitely more, pop rock element to that. But Zeke had all the chops, and we, especially live, he was absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely. One of the best performers in Australian heavy music, I reckon, as a vocalist.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was going to say, during the band's hiatus from, I think it was around 04 up until 16, were you always working away on heist music, or did you one day think that it could come back, or did you just sort of shove it aside and said, "No, I'm not going near that"? Like, when did you decide the timing was right to return again with the Ox, getting Drew back in the band, and drummer Benny Clark?
Well, it was a bitter end in 2004 for Superheist, or the end of 03, start of 04. It was a bitter end, and it was difficult. And I probably went into 2 years of flat out depression after that. I'm sure the other guys did too. It was fucked. It was really, really hard. And so, we pushed through that. And then I started a band called Walk the Earth, with Jamie Ludbrook and Matt Skitz from Damaged, Rich De Silva, who appears in Superheist videos and live shows every now and again. He's my very good mate, and a guy called Sam Johnson. And that band did very well very quickly. We toured with Mudvayne, and I think we even played with Slipknot and Hatebreed, and we were doing really good. And then that too had a bad ending with a vocalist, you know, and it's like, fuck. It just wears you down, man, you know, like, and then I pretty much gave it away, other than maybe mixing other bands. I was still producing and mixing other bands, but I wasn't writing my own stuff. And I got back into it because I've probably gotten over the hurt of it all. And I thought, I just want to do music for the enjoyment, and because it keeps me sane. I was probably going a bit insane without it. And then, yeah, that's when I spoke to Drew and I said, look, I'm probably going to do this again. I'd like you to play bass. And then we spoke to Sean. And Sean was keen as well. We didn't know what we were going to do about a singer at the time, so we just started jamming a little bit. And Sean actually couldn't continue because he had a very bad ankle and he couldn't drum. So unfortunately, he chose to bow out, and that's when Benny Clark got involved. And then one thing led to another, and we found ourselves with Ezekiel Locks as our lead singer, which was great.
Did you
because
contact him, or did he contact you? How did you guys get together?
I think it was we were signing to a label called Dinner for Wolves, and it was Rick Butterworth, the singer, the main man from that label, who suggested Zeke. And I remembered him from Full Scale, or Full Scale Deflection originally. And I remember he was always a good front man. Because I had the shits with music, I missed the Mammal thing, so I didn't know that he was in this awesome, huge band. But it worked out really well, you know, because he wasn't doing the Mammal thing at the time, and it just worked out for him, and it worked out for us. And look, it was really good for, I guess, 3 years. We did 2 albums and 2 EPs, I think.
Yeah, I just think listening to your entire catalogue from start to finish, you can definitely hear. One thing I noticed was the jump in production quality, and it just sounded very full and very well produced. And you say it didn't sound that heavy, but I kind of think to me it did sound very heavy, especially the Raise Hell after that EP. That sounded very heavy to me and very
well
sharp.
It is. That's because I mixed it. Yeah, we went and spent $50,000 or something recording Ghost of the Social Dead in LA with Jay Baumgardner, who, you know, he was like this famous new metal producer of the time, you know, done a lot of those big new metal records. And so we went over there and we did all that, and that was awesome. But it didn't translate to the actual tone of things that I'd wanted. So when we put out Raise Hell and Sidewinder and everything since, I've done all the production and mixing.
Yeah.
Unreal, and it sounds great.
Yeah, it does sound really good.
Thanks.